and Heel Spurs, a guide for executive mums. Now, as an executive mum, you might be spending long hours on your feet, whether you're navigating the office or managing your home activities. But if you're experiencing persistent pain in your foot or the sole of your feet, it may be more than just ordinary fatigue, right? As mums, we tend to sort of push the pain away and say, hey, it'll just resolve itself, or is maybe I'm just tired today. But if you have been dealing with foot and actually the sole of your foot is being painful, you've been dealing with this persistently, you might have one of the two conditions or both, which are plantar fasciitis and heel spurs. So in this video, let's discuss more about these conditions, how they affect your feet and the difference between these two, and how they are related or they can affect each other. Now, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Swati. I'm an executive mom power coach. I help moms of younger kids who work in high stress executive jobs to manage their joint and spinal pain. And I do this by giving you simple exercises, some easy lifestyle modifications, some tips and tricks that have helped me in my own pain journey. And I do all of this without taking away a big chunk of your time because, hey, we're moms, we're busy people, right? So let's get back into the topic for today, which is understanding plantar fasciitis and heel spur, a guide for executive moms. Now, I was saying, plantar fasciitis and heel spurs can coexist or they can present on their own. Now, what exactly is this condition or these conditions? Plantar fasciitis, it is basically an inflammation of the plantar fascia. Now, you may ask, what is plantar fascia? So it is a thick band of tissue that runs from your heel to your toes. It covers basically the sole of your foot, right? So an interesting fact for plantar fasciitis, for plantar fascia is when we were back in the days of evolution of humankind, we were walking on all fours. But when we started walking on our feet, so basically more upright posture, what happened is, because obviously nobody was wearing shoes and slippers back in the old days of evolution, the fascia, that is the covering on the sole of the foot, had to take the weight, the feet had to take the weight of the full body instead of it being distributed on the hands and the legs. So the fascia or the covering of the sole of your foot gradually became thicker, and it is a very thick band of fibrous tissue basically that runs throughout the sole of your foot, and that was basically to protect you from pebbles and thorns and things that could hurt your feet. And yeah, so that's how it developed into a thick fascia. Now, what happens is sometimes there's inflammation in this area, and that is known as plantar fasciitis. So, in the medical world, if you find the word itis, that is itis, at the end of any word, that it represents an inflammation of some kind in that particular area. Now, it can result in this plantar fasciitis inflammation can result in a deep or a sharp pain, and it is usually felt along the sole of the foot, but mostly in the inner arch of your feet and also the heel area. Now, a heel spur, on the other hand, is a bony growth. It's mostly like a thorn or a hook that is a bony growth in the heel area. So it's like a bony protrusion that develops due to, say, if you have repetitive stresses on the heel. And of course, if you have a coexisting plantar fasciitis, it can exaggerate your heel spur as well. All right. So now, what are some of the common symptoms or the signs that will indicate that you might have a heel spur or plantar fasciitis? Now, if you have a stabbing pain or a sharp pain, like you feel like there's a thorn stuck in the sole of your foot, especially around the heel area or the arch or the inner arch of the foot, that can indicate that you might be suffering from one or both the conditions. For heel spur, it'll be more into the heel area, and for plantar fasciitis, it'll be heel plus the sole of the foot. Now, most of the people will be relatively pain-free when they are sitting without any weight being exerted on their feet. The moment you get up, from sitting to standing, especially if you've been sitting for a while or you slept at night, and when you get out of bed, you will feel this sharp shooting pain or the stabbing pain in the sole of your foot, that is either the heel or the rest of the sole of your foot, depending on what condition you have. But this is a very, very common symptom. So it is always advised that people who have plantar fasciitis or heel spur always wear padded slippers, so that when your foot lands on the floor, it does not feel that pressure from the floor and give you that sharp shooting pain. Of course, if you walk bare feet, then the pain gets increased. Rest can give temporary relief, especially in the very acute phases of plantar fasciitis and heel spur. However, whenever you are bearing weight, as I said before, from sit to stand or from lying down from the night to getting up in the morning, it will bring back that pain. Now, some of the risk factors or some of the common factors that are seen in people who have these two conditions is, one is being overweight, because of course, if you have excessive body weight, it will mean excessive weight that is being put on your feet, and then you have more of this pain. Diabetes could be another risk factor. Diabetes in general can be a risk factor to many health conditions, because when you have diabetes, your healing process of the body is slower anyways. So it does not mean that you will get the condition, but the healing process itself will be slower. So it will be a long, drawn out process of healing from these two conditions. If you are in a job or you are standing for a long period of time, or you have suddenly increased the number of steps, say you were on a health regime and you've increased the number of steps you're walking every day, or if you do a lot of bare feet walking, it can be a risk factor for these conditions. Or say you have an overuse injury because you've been doing, say, dancing, ballet, or somewhere where you are exerting more weight, could be sports as well, on your feet, yes, then it could be a risk factor. Now, another risk factor that we tend to overlook is if you have inappropriately fitting shoes, or you have footwear that is old and worn out, then you could be at risk of developing these two conditions. Now, if you want more details on how to tell if my footwear is worn out or need a replacement, I have done another video on that. You can go to my YouTube channel and have a look at that. You can go to YouTube and type my name, Swati Prakash, shoes, and it'll come up for you. All right, so if this is all that I wanted to address in the video, however, there were a couple of other points that I have, but I'm not going to talk about it today, otherwise the video will be too long. So if you want to read those, you can go to the blog that I have written on the same topic. I will leave a link in the description of this video for that blog. If you're watching me on Instagram, the link will be in my bio for that blog. However, if you don't find it, you can always message me and I'll send it across to you. And in that blog, I have also left a link to my free community where I talk about topics related to joint and spinal and nerve pain. Now, I have done a free training there, which is called Simple Solutions to Manage Your Heel Pain, which is specifically for plantar fasciitis and heel spurs. So have a look at that training. It's been helpful to the people who have taken it. So it's all free. All you have to do is join the community, and you will find the link for that in my blog. And the link for the blog is in the description of this video. Alrighty, if you have any questions, any comments for me, do let me know and I'll be happy to address them.